Super Mario Brothers. That name alone is iconic in the video game industry. The start of a famous character in video game series, Mario. With endless sports games, endless spin-offs, endless party games, and amazing 3D and 2D games. How did it all start? Well, it started with this game. Technically, it didn't start with this game. It started from Donkey Kong in the 1980s. Mario was the main villain. But once he kept appearing in more and more other games such as Mario Bros, Wrecking Crew, which a game I would definitely review. But the Mario brand wouldn't have started without this game, Super Mario Brothers, on the NES. It's one of the best-selling games of the NES. Let's see if it's really that good, or did it not age well? The gameplay is typical 2D Mario now, but for the time it was revolutionary. The graphics, the mechanics of the game, you get power-ups, mushrooms and flowers. That's the only two power-ups, but since this is the first game of the series, the main 2D and 3D series, I can excuse it. The platforming in this game feels so nice, and I like the enemies in this game. The Koopas, the Goombas, and the Cheep Cheeps, and the bloopers. The bloopers and Hammer Bros in this game present a real challenge that I don't think any other enemy. I think that these enemies, Blooper and Hammer Bro, have gotten less and less challenging. The boss battles in the game are nothing special, being these fake Bowsers in the game, and the real final boss is really just the real Bowser. They're not that all challenging, but since this is the first Mario game, I can excuse it for not having more original bosses, because this is still in the planning stage, like the early years of Mario. That's why we saw more cameos in other games like Wrecking Crew and Pinball, because Mario wasn't that important. It wasn't really that important to Nintendo. It wasn't the mascot during this time. It only became the mascot during the Super NES era of Mario. Like I said before, the enemies in this game are kind of easy, besides a few. But sometimes the platforming in this game presents a real challenge. Like some of the levels in World 3 actually present a challenge, and the later levels of the game actually require you to be good at platforming. But I really don't like the swimming levels in this game. The swimming levels, the controls are not that good. But we can get into presentation next. Presentation of this game, it doesn't hold up as well, mainly because it's an NES game. The colors are good, but Mario's design now is way different from it is here. He has a brown and red overalls, with Luigi being a white and green. Roman is white and green, and that colors would be his fire form. The backgrounds, they're alright. They're just blue in the background, light blue for normal levels and dark blue for ocean levels. Bowser's design is drastically different. Isn't really that different from now, because it's green and yellow, and now his design is green, yellow, and black. I mean green, yellow, and red. And Peach's design is drastically changed. Her old design kind of reminds me of Daisy's old design. But that's Mario Land, and we're stretching way too far. We'll get to that game one day. Now, let's talk about the story. The story is super simple. Obviously, since it's the first game, it'd be very simple. Bowser has kidnapped Peach and turned the Toads into blocks, the mushroom people into blocks, and Mario and Luigi must save Peach. Yeah, it's super simple, but it serves the job since it is the first entry of the Super Mario main series. So yeah, final verdict: this game gets the ranking of silver. I wouldn't say it's the best game, the best Mario game. It's obviously like a B tier game at best, but it's not bad, and I think the sequel improved the Super Mario Bros. 2. But before we get to that game, we're gonna review Super Mario: The Lost Levels. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Bye.